Thank you. And Ambassador, we purposefully decided together that you will come in last, because you know that in Armenia we say people are Armenian by choice. So by the end of your tenure here, we will baptize you as an Armenian by choice. But you've been in Armenia for quite a while, not as an ambassador, but in your previous positions, and you know the country, you know the diaspora, and all of the reform projects that you've initiated, you've led, and you continue doing that in a different capacity, are all about the resilient and sustainable development of Armenia. And at the same time, like Masis was saying, that some of the joint efforts of diasporans and Armenians are bigger than the sum of the parts. So you're coming as with a helicopter view, if I may say. How do you see we could tap into the diaspora and local capacity into that sum? And where do you see that EU can bring its efforts and its role into that? Thank you.
Thank you, Arvik. Really a pleasure and an honor to be with you here today. I hope and I believe that you consider me as a honorary Armenian. I really believe that the diaspora and the investment actually that the state is doing in its relations with the diaspora is an asset for Armenia. An important one, a strategic one, and I think that all the stories that we have heard, not only in this panel, but throughout this global summit, kudos once more to our High Commissioner and the whole government for supporting this. But actually this goes beyond the government, this goes to all the people, and I think your presence these days here in Armenia shows that there are always disagreements, Arvik, and in a family, some of you talked about families. In families, we have disagreements. In the world, we have disagreements, but we have to work together in partnership. And you have this very important cultural bond. You have been preserving the unique Armenian culture, alphabet, traditions for quite some time. And this is an asset for the world. And actually, this is what I'm bringing here. Some of you probably say, but why? The European Union is interfering in our internal family relations. I have to say that in all my works I was always within the family and not in the dining room but in the kitchen, because this is actually where the food is made and this is where actually the quality is guaranteed. And this is not personal about me, it is about what the European Union is about. And we have a very fruitful partnership. One of the reasons why I wanted to be here, and I thank you for the opportunity, is to explain to you what the European Union is doing in Armenia. I will be very brief. We are investing in a partnership which has different dimensions. We support reforms, capacity building, very important reforms. I'll come back to this in a moment. We support investments in the private sector, in infrastructure, in the social field, in the human capital. Arvik, in one of your own previous positions, we have launched, I think, a very important policy dialogue in the area of education reform. This is a very, very important reform which is taking place in the country right now with very, very concrete results, which will also bring these talents that many of you have mentioned in the public space, in the private sector, in the competitiveness, but also in the capacity that you need to have for innovation, and it is already there actually. So we invest in all these areas. Now we invest more in security. We all understand the difficulties. We know what has happened over the past few years. I want just to mention here as a headline the presence of the very important EU monitoring mission in Armenia has helped to, it's a civilian mission. It's not an army. We have not come here to fight. We have come here to fight for peace, actually. But it is already contributing to the sense of security at the border areas overall in the country and has helped to reduce border incidents through its presence. It's very benevolent, neutral, professional, operational presence. So we invest in security, we invest in all these areas, and since last year we have launched a process of strengthening the relations between EU and Armenia. And here it is very much about continuing and deepening in all these areas. We have also very good news. Armenia, the only member of the CSTO, even nominal member, this is an Armenian decision, is benefiting from the European Peace Facility, and behind all this are the people. I fully agree to everything that you have said about people. And actually, your presence here is really a vote for this people-to-people context. We have almost 2 million, I think High Commissioner will correct me, probably a little bit less Armenian people, people of Armenian origin who are citizens of the European Union. It's almost as many as you have in Armenia, and of course we are interested in the rest of the diaspora that you mentioned earlier. These people can contribute to this process. Without the contribution, the innovation, the personal and historical experience, including the family experiences that you mentioned, without the expertise that all these people have, not only in the finance field, but also in the public sector. For instance, we need and we invest here in Armenia in air safety. This is a very important element of our resilience and growth plan. You have air safety specialists from the diaspora. They can come to help. And this applies actually in many other areas. We already invest in very strategic projects which have been initiated by the diaspora. With TUMO, for instance, we are building now next to the building that you all know, Convergence Center, to bring the people between 18 to 25 close to businesses and universities. This is being implemented. We are investing in a new TUMO center in Kapan, in this very critical region. We have a Resilience Unique initiative. This is one of the investments there. We have another investment with COAF. And with TUMO as well, we are going to rebuild the old market in Gyumri and to create a value chain there. It's a total investment of 20 million. And also to create a gastronomy school. So all these are areas, reforms, where the efforts of everybody in partnership in the state, I fully agree that the involvement of the state in all the areas that you mentioned is extremely important. And actually not only in education, but also in justice, in many other fields, we work together on, with the state, providing sometimes direct budget support. Just to give you a small example, this week, I have signed off on behalf of the European Union a payment of 13.5 million to the state budget for the support to the refugees that the state is being providing. And on top of that, we have, a total with our member states of 100 million that we have paid to the refugee support. Difficult situation, but I have to stress and to tell you that the European Union stands shoulder by shoulder with Armenia. We are now launching the visa liberalization dialogue, a very, very important process which will help to strengthen, following a number of reforms which still have to take place. Biometric passports, border controls, there are a number of anti-discrimination so that nobody is left behind. The health reform is very relevant here. These are all thriving activities which are there, the vision is there, but we need the people, the talent, the innovation to make them happen. And we want to continue engaging with the efforts that you are making. I repeat that the diaspora, I believe, is an asset for Armenia, but I don't say this in any patronizing way. I don't think that the European Union will do something in relation to that. I don't think that the diaspora will do something in relation to the locals, or the locals will just get. I think we need partnership, equal partnerships, where everybody is needed, and everybody, including, by the way, the people with special needs that you mentioned earlier, nobody should be left behind. And this is also part of our joint values, and I want to stress that everything that we are doing is about people and values. And in the world we are living in, the world of risks, the world where actually we invest, as you have said, very much in addressing FIMI, the foreign interference and manipulation. We have, by the way, a very good group of fact-checkers and specialists in this area in Armenia. We invest in them. We have to continue working together in making sure that we can all face these negative impacts of these manipulations. But I'm sure, and I'm optimistic here, that we will succeed, because the majority of the society, everybody, who wants rule of law, who wants peace, who wants prosperity, who wants clear rules, and wants to do their job properly so that we can leave to our kids, to the next generations, the youth that we have to invest even more in the future, a better world. Thank you very much.
Thank you.